that duodenum, it comes out, and you can see where it's now hooking into the small intestines here, the second part, the jejunum. And so this proximal area here would be jejunum, and then it's going to empty down into the colon right here. And so the distal part of that is the ileum. Where jejunum ends and ileum starts, you can't really tell. It's just like maybe the last 2 feet or 3 feet of it is really just mostly ileum. The rest of it would be jejunum. Same thing with this. So if you pointed mostly to the left side, that's probably jejunum. Most of the stuff in the right lower quadrant would be ileum. Okay. I know it's not that clear. It's done really microscopically. Okay, so jejunum, ileum. Now the ileum, where it's emptying into the large intestines, the first part that it empties into is called the cecum, and there's a valve there. And so here is that ileum coming in, this little bit right here. Okay, it's emptying into this part of the large intestines called the cecum. And so there's a little valve here represented by that white ileocecal valve for ileum and cecum. Okay? So that's the ileocecal valve. So F, large intestines, you've got the cecum right here. Hanging off of it is the variform appendix. Okay? And then the rest of the colon, you're going to have the ascending colon or right colon, transverse colon comes across, and then the descending colon or left colon. Then it takes a little S shape through there, and that's sigmoid colon, and then the rectum and the anus. So you'll hear this called right colon or ascending colon, transverse colon, that's pretty much everybody calls that. This would be left colon or descending colon. Everybody pretty much calls that the sigmoid. Okay. Now, underneath colon there, those are the four parts: ascending, transverse, descending, or sigmoid. If you, instead of ascending, said right colon, I would take that. Instead of descending, if you said left colon, I would take that too. Now, under there, there's hostra and tinea coli. Hostra are these little, looks like sacs here. See how that kind of looks like a little sac there? And right there. You can see them better here, I think. See the sacs? Those are hostras. Now, see this stripe that's running down the middle of it? Okay? That's where the external longitudinal muscles in the colon collect, and that's the tinea coli, that stripe. You can see it kind of coming up here. Okay? That's the tinea coli, that stripe. You can see it here too. See the stripe? You got it on 2 sides. And right there. Okay, that's the tinea coli. Now, right colon or ascending colon, it comes up, it has to make this sharp turn. That's called a flexure, and it's over here by the liver, and so it's called the hepatic flexure or right colic flexure, where you're making that turn. Over here, it comes across, you got to make a turn and go down. This is over by the spleen. The spleen sits here. It actually has attachments to the spleen, and that's called the splenic flexure or left colic flexure because it's going into the left colon. So, right colic flexure right here, left colic flexure, hepatic flexure, splenic flexure. This actually attaches to the spleen, and so if you do have to do a left colectomy or like a cancer here, you've got to remove that from the spleen, and a lot of times the capsule of the spleen gets ripped and it bleeds a lot. So it's one of the problems that you can have with doing a left hemicolectomy, is that attachment to the spleen there. Rectum, anus, don't really show you the internal sphincter or external sphincter on here. You actually, I think, I forgot to show the other class, I think you can see them. this would represent the external sphincter right here. The internal sphincter is this smooth muscle here. So here you can see your rectum here. This is sigmoid coming in. I forgot to show that to the other class. Guess we won't do as good on that class. We'll do a control study. Okay, everybody okay with the alimentary canal? The accessory structure, salivary glands,